I got home late that night, my keys shaking in my hand as I opened the door. The house was quiet in the heavy, uncomfortable way that always made my stomach tighten. I hadn't planned to be late. Work ran long, the bus broke down, and my phone died before I could send a message. By the time I stepped inside, I already knew I'd be punished for it. He was waiting in the living room, sitting in the dark with only the TV glow on his face. He didn't ask why I was late. He didn't ask if I was okay. He stood up, angry words spilling out fast and sharp. Before I could explain, he shoved me hard enough that I stumbled into the wall. The pain wasn't just in my arm or my shoulder, it settled deeper. In the place where hope used to live. Go to the kitchen, he said coldly, like I was a child who needed discipline. And don't talk back. I walked past him without a word, my heart racing. The kitchen light felt too bright. I gripped the counter and breathed, waiting for the shaking to stop. This wasn't the first time. Each time he apologized later, promised he'd change, swore stress made him lose control. And each time I believed him just enough to stay. But something was different that night. As I stood there, I realized I wasn't crying. I wasn't begging. I wasn't even afraid in the same way. Instead, my mind felt strangely clear. Like a window had been opened after years of stale air. I thought about all the nights I had blamed myself, all the times I had stayed quiet to keep the peace, all the excuses I had made to my family, my friends, and myself. I started moving slowly, doing exactly what he expected. I poured water into a pot, turned on the stove, opened the cupboard. From the living room, I could hear him muttering, complaining, already convincing himself that I deserved it. I nodded to myself as if agreeing, but inside, something hard and steady was forming. I wasn't planning revenge. I wasn't planning to hurt him back. What I was planning was much scarier for him than anger. I was planning to leave. While the water heated, I replayed everything like a checklist. My documents were in the bedroom drawer. My savings were small but hidden in a place he never checked. My sister had told me more than once that her door was always open. I had laughed it off then. Now I remembered her words like a lifeline. He came into the kitchen, watched me for a moment, then walked away. Satisfied that I was back in my place, that was when I knew for sure. He thought control meant ownership. He thought silence meant weakness. He was wrong. Later, when he finally went to bed, I moved quietly. My body still hurt, but my hands were steady. I packed only what I needed: documents, clothes, a few personal things I couldn't leave behind. Every sound felt loud, but the house stayed silent. With each item in the bag, the weight on my chest lifted a little. I paused in the doorway of the bedroom and looked at him sleeping. For years, I had stared at that same face, wondering how love could turn into something so cruel. That night, I didn't wonder anymore. I didn't feel hate either, just distance, like I was already stepping into a different life. I left the house before dawn, the sky still dark and soft. When I closed the door behind me, I expected to feel fear or guilt. Instead, I felt relief so strong it almost made me dizzy. My phone buzzed when I turned it back on missed calls, angry messages. I didn't read them. I blocked the number and kept walking. At my sister's place, I finally let myself cry. Not because I missed him, but because I realized how long I had survived something that never should have been normal. She didn't ask many questions. She made tea, wrapped me in a blanket, and said, "You're safe here." Those words mattered more than she knew. The days that followed weren't easy. There were moments of doubt, moments when I almost called him back just to hear a familiar voice. But then I'd remember the kitchen, the command in his voice, the way I had felt small. And I'd remember the clarity I felt when I decided to choose myself. I filed reports, sought help, started over piece by piece. Healing didn't happen all at once. Some nights, the memories still crept in, but they didn't control me anymore. I got home late that night, and he thought he had power over me. He thought sending me to the kitchen would put me back where I belonged. He didn't know that was the moment everything changed. That was the night I planned my freedom and followed through.